Hey guys, my name's Yvette and welcome to my DIY channel, and I hope that you guys are having a great day. For today's video, I want to share with you 2 fall air dry clay projects that I made. So let's get started. For this first fall project, I'm going to make a caramel apple incense holder. I copied out this apple from a free printable, and I'll link it for you guys in the description box so that you guys can use the same one if you want to. And then I sketched in a little stick at the top, and I'm going to use this as the stencil for my project. Start out by rolling out some clay. I'm adding some water to my clay to make sure that my stencil sticks on, and then I'm going to place my stencil on top. I'm tracing out the stencil using my needle tool. And then also don't forget to trace out your little apple stem. I'm retracing out the stem a little bit better here. Now I'm fully going to cut out the apple. I'm blending out the edges with some water. I'm rolling out a really thin slab of clay, and this is so that I can imitate the look of the caramel on the apple. I'm adding water to the apple to make it tacky, and then I'm going to place the slab of clay on top of the apple. I'm tracing out a wave on the slab of clay because I want my caramel on the apple to look wavy. And then here I'm cutting out the wave. Now I'm going to cut out the caramel to shape the apple better. I wanted the bottom of it to kind of mimic the look of when a caramel apple is sitting on a tray, if that makes sense. I'm using my needle tool to clean up a few places, and then I'm going to blend everything out with some water. I decided I wanted the apple stem to stick out, so I traced it out again on some clay, and then I cut it out, and now I'm going to place it on top of my apple. I'm taking an incense stick and I'm going to stick it into the clay to make a little hole for it so that this can stand once the clay is dry. Okay guys, do any last minute adjustments if you have any, and then let your caramel apple dry for 2 days.
3 days later.
Here's the caramel apple dry, so now I'm going to paint it. Lastly, I'm going to seal this using Deco Art's triple thick gloss glaze. For this project, I'm making fall donut candle holders, and I'm going to be using Daz air dry clay. So I'm going to use up the rest of the clay in this bag and split it into 2 equal parts. And then I'm going to roll each chunk of clay into a ball. Now that we have our 2 clay balls, I'm going to start squishing them down, and you can squish them down as much as you want. It just depends on how big you want your clay donuts to be. Next, I'm going to take a tapered candle and I'm going to stick it in the middle of each of my donuts, and this is going to make the hole for our tapered candles to stand in. And then I'm using a loop tool to scrape off some of that extra clay in there and some water to smooth everything out. And make sure to do the same thing to your other donut. Now I'm going to roll out a really thin slab of clay, and this is going to be for the donut frosting. I added a bunch of water to my donut to make sure it was really sticky, and I'm also adding some water to the thin slab of clay, and I'm going to place the slab of clay on top of the donut and then press it in. And I'm re-poking that hole in the center. I'm trimming off some of that extra clay that's our frosting, and how much you trim off really depends on you, like how much of the donut on the bottom you want to show. Here, I'm using some water to blend everything out, and then make sure to do the same thing to your other donut. I rolled out another thin slab of clay, and I'm going to trace out some little maple leaves. Now I'm going to add my little maple leaves onto my donut, and these are going to be like the little sprinkles on the donut. I added on 10 of the little maple leaves. Grabbing my tapered candle again, I'm going to re-widen that hole in the middle, and then do the same thing to your other donut, and then let these two dry for like 2 to 3 days.
10 seconds later.
Here are my two fall donuts dry, so next I'm going to sand them and then I'm going to paint. I'm going to use Deco Art's triple thick gloss glaze to seal these, and then we're done. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment and subscribe for more DIYs, and stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!